A submarine cruises under water at speed of 8.6 meters per second. Suddenly it turns off the engine and it's then carried forward by inertia by making the complete stop in 300 meters. So how long did it takes it to travel the first 230 meters after turning off the engine? Assume that the resistive force in water is proportional to the speed. Now, uh, since we have here a resistive force, we have to use a formula where resistive force is equal to the negative b constant v. Okay, now the force itself is equal to the ma, which is minus b over v. Now acceleration itself is dv over dt, correct? Then after that we know that dv, sorry, the v is equal dx over dt. Okay, from there we can say that it's dt is equal dx over v. Okay. What else? Then we come back here, dv over dt is equal minus b over mv. Then dt was equal dxv, right? So we can say that it's dv divided dt is equal dx, v comes here up, then it's equal minus bmv. So v cancels out, then we will end up with dv is equal negative b over m. Now dx can go to the right side, dx. Okay. Now then we can integrate both sides, and when we integrate, first we have to put the first condition where when it traveled 300 meters it stopped, so final velocity becomes 0. So initial velocity is 8.6, the final becomes 0 and initially it was 0, finally it is 300 meters. Okay. Then after that we can see that during the calculation we can get that the constant, which is b over m, is becomes 0.0286. Okay, right now we found the constant. Let's highlight it. Then what is next? The next thing is come back to the equation where we had dv over dt is equal to the negative bmv. Okay, from there we have to find what is the final velocity. Okay, but before finding from here final velocity, first we have to find what will be the final velocity when it traveled 230 meters. Okay, so what we have to do is that we have to use again this formula. Then we can say that it is dv integral. So this time it traveled, initially it was 8.6, then we don't know the final velocity when it moved at 230 meters. So then we can say that it's b is, in our case, b over m in our case is equal 0.0286. Then integral dx. Now it traveled from 0 to 230 meters. Okay, now if you do calculation, then what we will get, we're going to get v minus dv gives you just a v minus 8.6 is equal to the negative 0.0286 multiplied 230. Okay, then from there our v final, if you do calculation, you should get 2.022 meter per second. So let me also highlight this part as well. Okay, now we got final velocity, we have initial velocity, and it traveled 230 meters. Now we have to find how long it took to travel 230 meters. Then we're going to go back and use that equation where we had dv over dt was equal minus b v m, right? Then from there we can say that we can make cross multiplication. dv over v is equal minus b over m dt. Okay, then from there we have to integrate both sides so that we can get ln v. The limits will be what? Limits will be from 8.6, final was 2.022 is equal, now b over m is already constant, so the negative 0.0286, and dt is just time. Okay, so that's it. If you do calculation, the time should be equal 50.6 seconds. Yeah, that's it.